Hi, this is Saranya Shejala. Welcome to ECP Tech. Today we are going to discuss about and framing in this video. So, which is the one of the most important design issue of a data link layer. In previously we discussed what are the different type of design issues we have that suppose for data link layer, and framing is the one of the main design issue of a data link layer. In this video we have to know what is meant by framing, what are the different types of framing we have, and what are the methods involved in this framing. We deeply discussed in this video. Let us get into the topic. So what is meant by framing? We all know that the framing is a collection of rabbits or a group of rabbits or one data unit. We can call it as or one data unit. It is used to transmit the data from source to destination. In other words, we can tell the framing is a point to point connection between two computers. Point to point connection between two computers consists of a wire. Means here we are using an physical medium while sending the frames from source to destination. We need a physical medium. Through that physical medium we can communicate data in the form of bits. The collection of bits is nothing but a frame. Okay, so this frame will be divided into number of blocks. I already said header part, data part, and trailer part. We have a different types. In header part we have addressing, and data parts actual data, and trailer part we have error correction and error detection techniques. And it is one of the main functional, we can say this is one of the main functionality of the data link layer. Let us see what are the different type of framings we have. Types of framing. So fixed size, variable size. These two are the main things, types of framing. Fixed size means we can beforely tell this is the length of the frame. Means I want to send data from source to destination. I beforely said that the length of the frame size is 10 bits. 10 bits, that is the size of the frame, length of the frame. Okay, so in that particular frame we have to insert only 10 bits, that is the fixed size of the frame. There is no extension to add another bytes of data into that frame. Okay, that is the fixed size length. And variable size means it defines the end of the frame as well as the beginning of the next frame. So it does not have a fixed size, means 1 to 10 bits, 10 to 20 bits, this is the size of the length. We can't say the number of data, what type of data we want to communicate from source to destination. You can add the number of bits in that particular frame. But one thing is it should define the end of the frame as well as beginning of the next frame, because confusion will rise in this particular thing. Why? Means we are not declaring the actual size of the frame here, right? We are not declaring the actual size of the frame here. So to separate to identify each and every frame while transmitting from source to destination, we have to know the end of the frame and the beginning of the next frame. So to define these two types, the variable size framing uses and two different ways, can be done in two different ways. The first one is length field and the second one is end delimiter. First one is length field and second one is end delimiter. We can introduce a length field in the frame to indicate the length of the frame. We can introduce a length field in the frame to indicate the length of the frame. So this is used in the Ethernet, right? This is used in the Ethernet.
So this length field is mainly used in an Ethernet. So here we have a one IEEE format, right? IEEE format means International Electrical and Electronic Engineering. International Electrical and Electronic Engineering. This is an IEEE standard. Okay, IEEE standard. So each and every network we give an IEEE standard. Here I doubt that Ethernet 802.3 means this is an IEEE standard for Ethernet communication. Don't get confused here. This is an IEEE standard for Ethernet communication. See, here here you are introducing a length field, so it indicates the length of the frame. But there is one disadvantages about this type. So what is the disadvantages means sometimes the length field might get corrupt. So whenever the length field get corrupt, we doesn't know the what is the actual size of the frame. That issue rise in the transmission, and that is very riskable when the frame received by the receiver. Okay, he does not identify what is the actual frame, what is the end of the one frame and starting of the another frame, right? So sometimes this length field might get corrupted. That is the disadvantage of length field. And second way it is using end delimiter. So we introduced ed pattern. We said that ed pattern to indicate the end of the frame, see this, and we are using and now and delimiter. This has the following methods how we can insert different methods to set that the end of the frame. We use a different type of ed patterns. How the methods of this framing is character count, flag byte with character stuffing, starting and ending flags with bit stuffing, encoding violations. So these are the four things that put an end delimiter pattern, that uses an end delimiter pattern to identify end of the frame. Let us see each and every method how we can identify this is the end of the frame and this is the starting of the frame while transmitting from source to destination, right? So character count. The first one is character count. So first framing method. So it uses a field in the header part. So while communicating data frame from source to destination, it will assign the starting of the frame. It indicates. Okay, so when the data link layer at the destination see that character count, we insert that the starting header part. So here I'm showing here. So this is an header part. So in this we insert the character count, means how many characters we have. So it includes an number of characters in a particular frame that will be assigned in the starting header part. So it knows how many characters and follow, hence it describes this is an end of the frame. So let us see one example here. We can get a clear idea about an character count. Okay, so this is one of the example. Okay, here this is an so this is an actual data. I'm taking the actual data as an example data. Here I am dividing this actual data into three frames. So in first 1, 2, 3, 4. So this frame contains in 4 bits with additional bit to identify the end of the frame. So here I am in 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the end of the frame. Okay. Next, starting of the frame. Starting of the frame 1, 2, 3, 4 after 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So it will also count 5. Okay. Next, 9, 0, 1, 2, 3. See here the actual data will be divided into 3 frames, the first frame and the second frame and third frame. So here count how much. So with character count, the count is 6. So this is the 3 is the end of the frame. We can easily identify the use of an character count in the header format. IC5 means including this character 5 bits of 5 bits that is the end of the first frame. Next 5 bits, that is the end of the another frame. Okay, so we see the starting starting character of a particular frame. We can identify, oh, this is an end of the frame, right? Okay, so while transmitting the data will be look like this. See, header 1 2 3 4 I sent, this is the end of the frame. Next 5 1 2 3 4 5, this is the end of the frame. Next 6, this is the header. 6 means 1 2 3 4 5 6 characters, right? So we the receiver will receive this particular frame, that character counts will be released, and the actual data it will be received by the receiver. Okay, so it tells the end of the frame. This is the one type of technology. Here we have another doubt. Whenever the error occurs while transmitting the data from source to destination, how it counts? We can easily identify, is the error enter into the data or not, by using character count. See, I also have the another pic here. Okay, see, the first one 5. Okay, 5 bits. This is the first frame. 1 2 3 4 5. Next 7. Next 7. So already we have a communication between source and destination. I'm sending the 3 frames, the actual data divided into 3 frames. You can receive the actual data. Here we can easily identify that's the particular error in that enter into that frame or not. Okay, here 7. 7 means this character count and next 6 bits. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Up to here it indicates the end of the frame. Next, starting of the frame, we see this 0. 0 means next remaining frame will be discarded. So we can easily, when an error occur in a particular data, we can easily identify this error occur in the data. Okay, see, this is the purpose of an character count. This is a method. This is a way of how the data will be end of the frame. We can easily identify the end of the frame. This is a one method, character count. Next, look at the second method. Look at the second method. So this is about an character count. We see the one example and
So next thing is, next method is character or byte stuffing. We can say that is a character stuffing or byte stuffing. So what is the method it follows means, so it has, we have a special bytes that is flag and escape. Flag and escape. So escape is a special byte that will be inserted before every one byte in the message. Before every one byte in the message. The flag byte indicates the starting of the frame. The flag byte indicates the starting of the frame, and the escape that will be inserted each and every byte before. Each and every byte before. Okay. So we see the diagram how the data frame, these two will be inserted into the data frame, how we can identify the starting of the frame and the ending of the frame, right? Okay, see, so this is a diagram of an character stuffing or byte stuffing. So we have a 2 bytes, flag and escape. So flag byte indicates of the starting of the frame, and escape means a special byte that will be inserted before every byte in the message. Before every byte in the message. So this is an header part. So we know that frame will be divided into 3 blocks, right? This is an data part. Okay, this is an trailer part. Okay, so let us see. So flag, while the receiver see the flag bit, this is the starting of the frame, they can identify. Next, header part. Header part, we have the addresses of a source and destination. So here before flag we are using an escape. See, here escape is inserted each and every bytes, inserted before each and every bytes in the message. We can consider this is an actual message. and this is an actual message. So every byte, the byte also, it consists of an 8 bits. It is used to uh, know this is the beginning of the frame, right? Okay, so this data part, before data part we inserted flag byte, and every byte I already said in the previous step, for each and every byte the escape will be inserted. See, this is the starting of the frame, so there is no need to insert an escape. This is the starting of the frame. After header, again I'm giving an flag means this contains an 8 bits. 8 bits. So every 8 bits before we are using an escape character. Okay, next, this is an a data part, and this is an escape means, so here each we have a 8 bits that will be considered, and before we inserted the special character escape, and after the data part will be have and the trailer part. So this is an this is the end of the data part, and we also had another part in the frame is the trailer part. Okay, after that trailer part, to begin of the next frame, so the flag will be inserted. So this is an actual diagram how the flag and escape bits are inserted. So I already said the flag indicates the starting of the frame. To identify this is the starting of the frame, escape means each and every 8 bits. Each and every 8 bits we insert a special type of character, nothing but an escape. Okay, so escape, we extra 2 bytes we are inserting. So this is an escape, and this is an escape. So while we are using an escape, escape is the one type of character, right? So while we are using the another type of escape, we inserted, that is escape 8 bits, we insert the another escape character in before that escape character. Okay, these are the extra 2 bytes we have. Escape. So the receiver receives this and eliminate this all escapes to find the actual data, because there will be an issues rise in the data. Okay, so that is unstuffed, and the flag, header, data part. So each and every 8 bits we have an escape character. This is an another escape character means to indicate the frame. We are inserting an one type of escape character here. So this is an actual frame. Okay, so in the starting of the frame we have escape character. This is an escape character. So this is an 8 bit. In for every 8 bit we use a special character means escape. So that's why we are using another escape character before the actual escape character. Okay, this is an character byte stuffing we have. This is the second method to identify the end of the frame as well as the starting of the frame. Okay, next, another thing we have, the third method, bit stuffing. So everyone knows that the bit stuffing. So it is the insertion of non-information bits into data. Insertion of non-information bits into data. So what is the methodology of bit stuffing? How we can identify this is an original data and we inserted that particular bits in our original data. It's not the one of the main advantage is when we stuffed the extra bits in the data frame, that will not be confused with overhead bits. Overhead means the actual data bits. So this is a non-data bits that are necessary for transmission. To identify this is the actual data. When an error occur in between the data, so we can easily identify the error occurred in the particular data frame. How means, let's see the diagram here. So this is an original data 11011111. See here, bit stuffing concept means every 5 ones it inserted a 0 bit. Every 5 ones it inserted a 0 bit. Okay, so for this we can easily identify that the particular error will occur or not. Okay, see, this is a data stream 1 1 0. So we have a 5 ones. After 5 ones we stuffed a 0 here. See, stuffed bit. Next 1 1 stuffed bit. So actual data we see after 5 ones we have another one. Okay, 1 1 0 0. So this is an end of the frame. This is an end of the frame. So how can we identify this is the first frame, this is the second frame by using an bit stuffing? Means here in between data we are inserting a special stuffed bit. Means after 5 ones we inserted 1 0 to identify that a particular data is there is an error occur or not. So here to say the end of the frame and starting of the end of the frame we have to know. Means after end of the data next frame will be started. Before starting of the frame before starting of the next frame we inserted another special type of bit is 1. So start of terminator means, so here the first frame is ended and the next frame will be continued. So start of the terminator means it is terminated and the next frame will be coming. Okay, so we can identify this the bit stuffing. So here we can easily identify the error also. Whenever in the place of 0 we have 1. So there is a error guaranteedly occurred in the data. We can easily say that. But because in bit stuffing there is an agreement before sender and the receiver. After 5 ones I inserted one stuffed bit, that is 0. Okay, so you can release that particular stuffed bits, unnecessary bits, and you can receive the actual data. There is an agreement between sender and the receiver. When the receiver sees after 5 ones also it has an 1. After 5 ones also it has an 1. We can easily say that that is an error occur in the particular frame while transmitting from source to destination, and the receiver give an acknowledgement, negative acknowledgement to the sender. So there is an error occur in the actual data frame, can we resend it again. Okay, so this is the another method to identify starting and the ending of an frame. Starting and ending of an frame, right? Okay, next and the last but not the least, we have an encoding violations. Encoding violations. So encoding violation is a method that is used only for network. That is used only for network, in which encoding on physical medium includes some sort of redundancy. Here encoding violations means our data will be encoded in a different format. So here we are using for this encoding violations the one of the most popular method of encoding violation is Manchester's encoding. Manchester encoding. So what is meant by Manchester encoding? How we can encode this actual data into encoding format. Encoding format means some unreadable format. See, let us see the diagram here for encoding violation also. See, this is an clock pulses, this is an actual data. Okay, so we have a actual data 1 0 1 0 0 1 1 0 1. Okay, 1 0 1 0 0 1 1 0 1. This is an actual data, right? So at 1 it is high, at 0 it is low, at 1 again it is high, 0 low, at 1 it is high, low and high. So in Manchester encoding, how the data will be converted into. See, the first bit is 1, right? This first bit is 1, right? So this will be divided into 2 bits. This 1 bit is divided into 2 bits, nothing, 1 0. See here, we have a pulse, clock pulse, 1, 0. Here 1, 0. Next, whenever the 0 comes to the, in the next bit of a data, see here 0, right? So this will be divided into again 2 bits. 0, 1. See, the first one is an actual data and the second one is an encoding data. The first one is an actual data and the second one is an encode data. So encode data, how we'll get an encode data? The first one, 1, 0. Next 0, next bit is 0. So that is an low and high. So see the clock pulse means 0, 1. Next we'll get an 1 here. So that will be high and low. See, observe the clock pulse carefully. So we can get an encoding format. 1, 0. See, next 0. We'll get a next 0. So low, high. Next 0, 1. Next also 0, 1. Next we'll get 1. See. So it will be into 2, 1, 0. Next also 1, 0. Next also 1, 0. So 3 ones. See, 3 ones we inserted, that will be divided into 6 bits, right? Next 0, 1. Next also 0, 1. Next 1, 0. Okay, so this is an encoding format. This is the Manchester encoding. See, Manchester encoding means the actual data will be divided into, the actual data means the one bit will be divided into 2 bits. The another thing is an redundant bit, means another stuffed bit. So this is an data received by an receiver. This is the data received by an receiver. So here removes an each encoded bit what we inserted into the actual data, and it receives an actual the receiver receives the actual data, right? So this is an encoding violations. The most common method we are using an Manchester encoding. Okay, this is about an encoding violations. See, these are the different type of methods of framing we are using. Okay, in this video we discussed what is meant by framing, what are the types of framing we have. In that we have a different ways how can we identify the end of the frame and fixed size frame, variable size frame. We discussed all these things in this video, right? Okay, kindly like, share and subscribe EasyBTech. I hope you all understand different framing concepts here. We'll discuss the next design issues in next videos. Thank you.